Program is a presentation of Hall Sports Communications.
Southeast Mortgage, the official home loan lender of the Georgia Bulldogs, presents today's sports report. On today's program, we'll talk about University of Georgia football and more. And now, from the studios of UGA Football News on Facebook and Instagram, here's the host of today's sports report, Chris Hall.
Hey guys, and welcome to a live edition of today's sports report, brought to you by UGA Football News on Facebook and Instagram. And Matthew Hall joining in. Chris Hall, Matthew Hall, dad and son. We love UGA football. We have been known to holler a little bit when the Bulldogs are, when we're in the stands at Sanford Stadium or watching it on television, as most good Georgia Bulldog fans will do. You know, we got to pull our team through. So, Matthew, here we are. And by the way, you guys can join in. We can actually show your comments if you have a comment about what we're talking about tonight. If you have a question that you want to ask, or you have something you want to say about the Bulldogs, shoot it to us in the comment section, and we'll display it for all the world to see. But it is the day before Thanksgiving, and we are very thankful for all of the wonderful support we have received on today's sports report, brought to you by UGA Football News on Facebook and Instagram. And Eric Dvorsny, I think, Senior, says, "Evening, everyone. Have a happy Thanksgiving." Well, thank you, Eric.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank you, Eric.
those sentiments, indeed. And we echo that to all of the Bulldog Nation joining us. So, Matthew, how you doing? Here we are, the day before Thanksgiving. We're going to watch some pro football tomorrow. Then you and I on Saturday will be traveling up to hot Atlanta and headed over to Bobby Dodd Stadium to watch the Bulldogs and the Yellow Jackets playing football. So that'll be a lot of fun. So how you doing tonight?
Yep, doing good. Trying to hang in there, day by day. Excited for another, how could you not be doing good? Georgia's 11-0, looking to finish the drill, so to speak, this week with Georgia Tech on the menu, and hopefully finish the regular season 12-0. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. And so let's talk a little bit. Nancy Travis jumps in. Go Dogs from the Salty Dogs in Southwest Florida. There you go. We appreciate Nancy jumping in. Also, Brett Goodell joins us. Do y'all have a podcast? If so, What is its name? Well, welcome to the party, Brett. This is the podcast. And the name of it is today's sports report on UGA Football News on Facebook and Instagram. And by the way, we do have a website. And it's todaysportsreport.com. Todaysportsreport.com. And there you can go and you can see or you can hear all of our podcasts. So we appreciate, Brett, you asking the question. Yeah. Also, Gerald Caldwell, happy Thanksgiving to all, and go Dogs. Indeed, Gerald. We're right there with you, my man.
Yeah.
Also joining us, Aaron Gates, go Dogs from Oklahoma. Hey,
Sooners, go Dogs.
The Sooners kind of took it on the chin a little bit this past weekend. May have knocked them out of contention for the football playoffs. But thank you, Aaron. We appreciate it. We love our good folks out in Oklahoma. Curtis Vincent also says, go Dogs, and happy Thanksgiving. We appreciate it, Curtis. Let's look over the latest rankings now for the football playoffs. This is the football playoff rankings. And let's see. We have Georgia, obviously, number one, 11-0. They're the number one team in the latest football playoff rankings. Ohio State jumped over Alabama. Ohio State now number two. They're 10-1 on the year. Alabama now number three in the college football rankings. 10-1 on the year. And Cincinnati, finally, the Bearcats finally breaking into the party. And they are the number four team in the latest rankings for the football playoffs. So Cincinnati 11-0, the number four team, followed by Michigan, Notre Dame, Oklahoma State, the Baylor Bears, Ole Miss, and Oklahoma rounding out the top 10. Guys, who would have thought this time last year the Dogs would be on a tear and be on the precipice of 12-1? Brian wants to know that.
12
I
and
don't
0.
think, yeah,
12
12
and
0.
0. Let's make sure we make that distinction correct.
Yes, Brian, I don't think any of us, to be honest with you, anticipated the season that Georgia is having. In fact, I was thinking the other day, Matthew, it seems like just yesterday we were talking about Clemson and how we were afraid of what was going to happen when the Bulldogs play Clemson. Is that going to really put a hole in the season? Of course, we took care of business against the Clemson Tigers, and
That's
the
right.
Bulldogs have been playing awful good ever since that time. So we're
Well, I just got to
11 and
jump in
0,
here.
number one team in the country, and headed to Atlanta to take on Tech this week.
I got to jump in here and say one thing. Guess who's number one?
Yeah, I know. And I'm so glad that finger is in the right position.
Sorry.
Oh, me, absolutely. So if you guys want to jump in with a comment or a question or whatever, we'll be happy to display it, and you can have your 2 cents worth in.
That's right.
As we talk about Georgia
Happy
Bulldog
Thanksgiving
football.
you too, Curtis, and appreciate that, Oklahoma. There you go. Yep. Everybody, Gerald Caldwell, everybody hopping in here too.
Let's see. Matthew and I were in the stadium last week when Georgia took on Charleston Southern, and we all know 56-7. It could have been 100-7. Georgia throttled back. Obviously, played everybody. I think the Water Boys also got into the game last week. Georgia, and someone asked me, well, why do these major college teams play teams like Charleston Southern? Well, first of all, it gives like a team like Georgia a break from that brutal SEC schedule. That Georgia and the other SEC teams have. It gives them a break. You don't assume anything, but the chance of Charleston Southern beating Georgia last week was 0 and nada. In fact, Vegas did not even have a line on the game last week. And so, but also it generates money for Charleston Southern, the program. They got a big check for coming into Sanford Stadium and playing the University of Georgia. They also got exposure because all across the nation it was said that Georgia played Charleston Southern. So it gave exposure for that team. And the players on Charleston Southern, they participated in a game against the number one team in the country. So there's a lot of reasons why these kind of things happen. It does generate, some money and goodwill with Charleston Southern, even though they were, pretty well out of their league when they were playing Georgia. But the final score last week, 56-7. Georgia now owns the longest active winning streak in the FBS. Georgia now has won 15 games in a row. This is tied for the second longest in school history, as the Bulldogs also won 15 straight games in 1941 and 42 and 79 through 81. The school record is 17 games in a row set over a 3-year stretch from 1945 to 1947. So, Matthew, you and I were there. We saw Georgia take it. And so, yes, Brian wants to know, did we leave before Jordan Davis led the band? And I hate to admit it, but we did. And we regretted it.
We regret that, but we did. We kind of snuck out there. I mean, you got to remember now, it's a long drive from where we're at. So we kind of beat the crowd there a little bit. Regretfully, looking back now, we did get there a little early and so was able to get to see some of the senior day festivities. So, thankful to get to see that and whatnot. But thank you, Dana Turk from Valdosta, Southwest Georgia area. Yep. Have some friends over in Valdosta, actually, and Lakeland area. Have some really good friends of mine over in that area. So your neck of the woods.
Well, Brian is chiming.
That's great, Brian.
Yeah, you're right. We missed the great
and I know it makes me seem like I'm not that big, not that good of a dog fan on that one, bro. But it was 3.5 hour drive, and so
and we kind of beat we kind of beat the traffic a little bit. But and speaking of that, For me, the highlight of the game on Saturday when Georgia was playing Charleston Southern is when Jordan Davis scored his touchdown. And
Hmm. Yeah,
that was something, and the stadium erupted.
that's right.
Everyone saw what was happening, and then when they did the play and the formation that they did, and they handed it off to the big guy, it was something to see him score a touchdown. Stetson Bennett last Saturday against Charleston Southern had a good game, 8 of 14. Did have one interception. The ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage. Stetson ended up with 105 yards and 2 touchdowns. JT Daniels came in, looked very good, very sharp. And so go JT. He looked very good. JT was 7 for 12, 73 yards and a touchdown. Carson Beck looked pretty good. 5 of 10, one interception, which led to a touchdown for Charleston Southern, and 77 yards and a touchdown. Brock Vandergriff 0 for 1. He played also. So all of our quarterbacks, the top 4 quarterbacks, did play in the game last Saturday. Zamir White 4 rushes for 83 yards. James Cook six rushes for 59 yards. McIntosh had 4 rushes for 31 yards, and Dejon Edwards, we love him, Moultrie guy, 6
Right here,
rushes
Southwest.
for 23 yards. So there you go.
Yeah.
So Georgia had obviously a very good game
And that is
against
funny, Brian.
Charleston Southern.
Said you understand the drive and just kept praying that the ladder would hold up and he wouldn't fall. Amen to that one, brother. I
Yep.
mean, that
Yep.
had to be a strong ladder, and it had to have some stress put on it with Jordan Davis up there.
Well,
So thank the good Lord. We do thank the good Lord that it did hold.
yes.
Amen to that.
And Jordan, George's my Heisman pick. I'm just telling you,
Yep.
he's my Heisman pick.
Like
He's
N'Kobe. I like N'Kobe too.
yeah,
For the pick.
yeah,
If you don't give Jordan the pick, I like N'Kobe in there too. If you're gonna
yeah.
pick a defensive player.
And it was senior day, and that was cool. It was senior day. All the seniors were recognized, and so that was cool. It was just a good day. Now this coming Saturday, here we go. Georgia and Georgia Tech did not play last year because of the pandemic situation and all of that, and the limiting of the scheduling of the games. So this Saturday at 12 o'clock, Bobby Dodd Stadium in hot Atlanta.
Yeah.
Georgia 11-0, Georgia Tech 3-8, and got demolished by Notre Dame last week, 55-0. Here we go. This coming Saturday, the game will be, if you're not fortunate enough to be in the stands, the game will be on ABC. And so you can watch the game between Georgia and Georgia Tech. Usually they say, when you have these rivalry games, you can throw the records out the window. That is not the case for this coming Saturday. The records are very much in play. Georgia, the last I saw, is a 35-point favorite over Georgia Tech. And Georgia Tech pretty devastated after being annihilated by Notre Dame last week, 55-0. So this coming Saturday, Georgia Tech, the rivalry is renewed at Bobby Dodd Stadium. There will be, I predict this, there will be more Georgia fans in the stands than there will be Georgia Tech fans.
Yeah.
That's often the case when this game is held in Atlanta. So what do you think, Matthew, about coming up with Georgia Tech? What do you think about this upcoming game for the Bulldog?
Well, I mean, I do believe that Georgia, I do believe that you'll have more Dog fans than Tech fans in the stands, and you are correct there, Brian, with N'Kobe being finalist for the Butkus Award, and so N'Kobe is, he's got a lot of highlights and accolades already. Go Dogs all the way. That's right, William Wright. Amen to that this weekend. Don't see any prayers of a chance for Georgia Tech. I mean, I know it's a home game. Georgia comes in here 11-0, riding a whole lot of positive steam here. Georgia Tech's pretty much been really awful this year, and with our defense playing the way they've played, really trying to finish the regular season off with with a statement win. I could see our defense really holding. I could see a shutout even. in the midst possibility with our defense this weekend. I know that they're going to come out on a mission to really try to dominate the game as they do in every game, but I would imagine that the defense will come out looking for a statement win this weekend.
Yeah.
And to cap off a pristine regular season and go undefeated the regular season.
Yeah, our assistant compiled some statistics for us. It gave us a pile of stuff to look at tonight. Georgia Tech has lost 5 games in a row. Started with Virginia. They lost to Virginia Tech, Miami, Boston College. Now, granted, they played Miami a pretty good game, losing by only 3. But they have lost 5 games in a row. The last game they won was back on October 9th when they beat Duke 31-27. So Georgia Tech having a tough season. Jeff Collins, the coach at Georgia Tech, you got to think, the alumni there, they're probably hot and heavy on him, but we'll see what happens. But you don't want to overlook, you just don't want to take these games for granted. And I know one thing, Kirby Smart and his coaches on the practice field, has not once this week mentioned Alabama and the SEC championship game. That for them, that's over yonder. That's in the future. What is next is Georgia Tech and playing Georgia Tech in this all-important game. If you want to go to the playoffs, you got to win this game.
That's right.
And that's the message that's being delivered to the University of Georgia. And the senior leadership on this team is so strong that I can promise you the seniors on this team and the leaders on this team, the juniors who are also leaders on this team, are telling the rest of the guys, no, we're not thinking about Alabama, Mercedes-Benz, SEC championship game. Georgia Tech is our next opponent. They are the next game that we're going to be playing, and that is all that our focus is on. And that's the way you got to be, right? That's right.
Well, and I mean, even in Georgia, they had adopted the moniker and the mindset of hashtag win, and it's what's important now. The game that's in front of you now. Alabama's not the game that's in front of you now. That game is not the game in front of you, and any team, I don't care who you are, is vulnerable, and any team can lose to any other team on any given Saturday. I don't care who you are, and pride goeth before the fall, as the good book says. So you got to be prepared. I don't care who the opponent is, and just like the moniker says, what's important now, and the game that's ahead of you is what's important now, and that would be Georgia Tech, and I'm sure that's the mindset that Kirby Smart and the Georgia coaching staff have beat in the heads of mentally of the Georgia football players.
We got a trivia question. I got a trivia question. Our assistant gave us a trivia question about Georgia and Georgia Tech. Now, if somebody gets this without Googling it, we need to give them a pretzel or something.
That's right.
But here's, if you know this right off the top of your head, you're a good Georgia supporter. Here's the question. In 1927, Georgia and Georgia Tech played, and there was a controversy. Georgia did something to slow down Georgia's rushing attack. Georgia was on pace in 1927 to go for the national title, the national championship. Georgia Tech did something when they played at Georgia Tech to slow down the rushing attack, and Georgia Tech won the game. What do you think it is? Now, that's the trivia question. Thank you, Suzanne. Absolutely. Go Dogs.
That's right.
That's right. Finish the grill.
That's right.
So what did Georgia Tech do back in 1927 to slow down Georgia's rushing attack so that Georgia Tech could win, denying Georgia a trip to play for its first national title? Those rascally rascals from Georgia Tech did something. So if you know the answer to that question, well, give us a comment and we'll see. Now, a couple of guys for Georgia Tech just to keep an eye on. They do have a pretty good freshman quarterback. His name is Jeff Sims, 6'3", 215-pound freshman. He's passed for 1,449 yards, thrown for 12 touchdowns. He has thrown for 7 interceptions. He's rushed average rush of 5.3 yards. Jeff Sims has gotten some compliments from opposing coaches as being a pretty good quarterback. So Jeff Sims is somebody to keep on an eye on. And Jahmyr Gibbs also is a freshman running back for Georgia Tech. He's 5'11", 200 pounds. He's rushed for over 700 yards this year on 141 carries. So Georgia Tech, and excuse me, I was listening to Kirby Smart in his news conference about the upcoming game, and he said Georgia Tech does have some players. They have stacked up some players. They're just having a hard time this year, and they have fallen on hard times. They did have a win over North Carolina, which at the time was ranked number 21 in the country. So there you go. We'll see.
Yeah.
But Georgia Tech, and again the betting line is 35 points. Georgia obviously being favored. So back in 1927, what did Georgia Tech do to slow down the Georgia rushing attack and deny Georgia? Tech won the game and denied Georgia the opportunity to play for its first national title. Now, if you know that off the top of your head, you're a dude or a dudette.
Yeah, I know,
I'm
right?
telling you, but you can Google it. Y'all go ahead and Google it, and you can see what it is. So a couple of other things that we want to talk about. By the way, let's give, we have a great sponsor, Southeast Mortgage, the official home loan lender of the Georgia Bulldogs, has been a great supporter of Today's Sports Report on Facebook and Instagram and todaysportsreport.com. And we appreciate Southeast Mortgage so very much. Kirby has a word for you from Southeast Mortgage.
Today's Sports Report will be right back after this message from Southeast Mortgage, the official home loan lender of the Georgia Bulldogs.
This is head coach Kirby Smart. It's my job to coach the fundamentals of football and prepare my guys for the future. Well, my friends at Southeast Mortgage are preparing you for your future by becoming a homeowner. Every Bulldog deserves a home. If you're in the market to purchase or refinance, I trust Southeast Mortgage to provide the best experience and get it done. Visit southeastmortgage.com/UGA to get pre-approved for your home loan today. Southeast Mortgage, the official home loan lender of the Georgia Bulldogs.
Southeast Mortgage of Georgia Incorporated, NMLS, number 103956, Georgia Residential Mortgage License number 6578.
The only thing better than winning between the hedges on Saturday is coming home to this on Sunday. On the football field, I'm a coach. At home, I'm a dad. The field is where legends are made, where boys become men, dreams become reality, and teammates become family. Family is the most important thing. It's everything we have. And home is where a family's memories are made. So when the time comes to finance your home, make the smart choice and get your home loan with Southeast Mortgage.
Thank you for joining us, and welcome back to today's Sports Report.
Okay, Matthew, you're ready for this trivia question.
Yeah.
What controversies surrounded the 1927 game against Georgia Tech? Georgia entered the 1927 game against Georgia Tech needing one win to go to the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California, and play for the national title. However, Georgia Tech did something to slow their rushing attack down, and Georgia Tech won the game 12-0. And what Georgia Tech did, those wily engineers at Georgia Tech, they soaked down the field to ensure that the Georgia running attack would be slowed and hampered in the game. In other words, they wet the field down. They turned it into a mud puddle, a big mud puddle, and Georgia couldn't do what they normally could do back in 1927. The rushing attack was thwarted, and Georgia Tech won the game 12-0, and thus denying Georgia the opportunity to go to Pasadena, California, and play for the national title. So there you go. And good old clean, old-fashioned hate's been going on ever since. It's 1927. By the way, Herschel Walker, who's going to be on our program in the near future, back in when was this? Let's see, back in 1980. Back in 1980, Herschel Walker set at that time the NCAA single-season rushing record during the game against Georgia Tech back in 1980. He rushed for 1,616 yards, setting a new record at that time for rushing by a running back. So Suzanne Mai says, "Well, never heard that." Yeah, we hadn't heard that either. But
Yeah,
there you
that's a new
go.
one on me too.
Yeah,
That's pretty.
so
Hey man, you got it, Georgia Tech. You know, you got to cheat. You know, they can't play fair. You know,
well,
you know how it goes.
okay.
You know how it goes.
Hey, did you know that UGA was the first mascot ever to attend a Heisman Trophy ceremony?
Wow,
Like in 1982 when Herschel Walker
awesome.
won the Heisman
I did. I
Trophy.
think that.
UGA was there. UGA
Yeah.
went there. So
Yeah,
there you
because
go.
I remember the pictures of Uga commercial.
And
I didn't remember
UGA
that.
had his tuxedo on
Mhm.
and his bow tie. So there you go.
There you go.
Also, did you know that UGA, the back, I forget what year this was, but UGA, our assistant kind of put this all together. Our UGA was in a movie, in a movie set in Savannah, Georgia. UGA's owner, Frank Sonny Seiler, played a Sealer, played a lead role in the movie, and UGA played in the movie. So there you go. Wonder how
Wow.
much UGA got paid in that. How
You-
much do
you probably have
you
some
pay a dog to be in the movie?
Some food.
To be in the movie. Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit about now you got Georgia Tech. Some other games. It seems like it's rivalry weekend in the Southeast Conference coming up this coming Saturday. You got Ole Miss. This will be a 7:30 game on ESPN. You got Ole Miss, number 9 in the country. Ole Miss having a great season, traveling to Starkville to take on Mississippi State. Aha! And Mississippi State with that air attack. Man, that's going to be a fun game to watch. Ole Miss and Mississippi State in Starkville. Gosh, Matthew, who's going to win that game? Who's going to win that game? Man, that's going to be a fun game to watch. We need to circle that one. 7:30 on ESPN. What do you think about that game? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, pretty tough pick here. I mean, you got Matt Corral. Lane Kiffin there, of course. I mean, you got a lot of Matt Corral has been a great thrower this season. I mean, a lot of great quarterback. So you got a lot of yards thrown. Guy can sling the ball. I'm gonna have to go Ole Miss on this one.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just gonna pick Ole Miss. Yeah.
You gonna pick Ole Miss? I'm gonna go with Mississippi State because I like the air raid offense.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
the air
gonna be
raid
a
offense
fun
is
game.
dangerous. I think this is a toss-up game either way. I think it could go either way.
That's going to be a fun game to watch. Missouri taking on Arkansas. Now, back in the day when both of those teams were in the Southwest Conference, it was a heated, big rivalry. Now it's renewed in the SEC. This is the 3:30 game on CBS. Interesting. So Missouri at Arkansas. I got to go with Arkansas on that. Arkansas played great against Alabama last week. Almost took them out. And
definitely Arkansas here on this one. I mean, playing at
but
home
Eli
too.
Drinkwitz now, the dude, Missouri beat Florida. How did that happen last week?
Yeah.
Missouri beat Florida, and the coach for Missouri, Eli Drinkwitz, he's been pouring the salt on the wounds of Florida, the head coach and the fans and everything. So, yes, Philip Thornton. Let's go Dogs, indeed.
Yeah, let's go Dogs.
12 o'clock, of course, Georgia Tech. We're going to obviously take Georgia.
Yeah.
Then you got 12 o'clock on ESPN, Florida State at Florida. Florida State at Florida. Florida State at Florida. Now, Florida has completely fallen apart. Dan Mullen out the door. Florida might try to poach Dan Lanning from Georgia or Todd Monken from Georgia. Now, we're not going to let that happen. We refuse to let that happen. But you got Florida State at Florida. Florida State playing better football. That should be an interesting game. A lot of fun to watch. Nobody cares. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry. Nobody outside of the state of Florida cares. But anyway.
I mean, that's true. Unless you're a Florida State or a Florida fan, I mean, this game doesn't really mean. If you're a Georgia fan, this game really doesn't mean a whole lot to you. But at the end of the day, I mean, Florida's had a terrible season. Florida State,
they're playing better. They're playing.
The
Norval's
so
got to play.
I'm actually going to pick Florida State in this game.
I am too.
I am. I think that they're going to pick. I think they're going to pick up the pieces for pride purposes, and play for pride purposes, and
I
and for
wonder.
and for bragging rights really in
I
this game.
wonder. I wonder if those rascally rabbits from Georgia Tech's going to soak the field down this Saturday. Bobby Dodd. It's artificial turf though, so never mind.
Wouldn't work.
Let's see. You got the Iron Bowl, 3:30 on CBS. Now something's got to give because the SEC's got two games going on at the same time, so that's obviously not going to work. So we'll have to check that out. But anyway, you got Alabama traveling to play Auburn. Auburn got beat by South Carolina, but kudos to South Carolina, the Gamecocks. And that's what I'm talking about. And Auburn traveling, Alabama traveling to Auburn, okay. Okay. Philip,
Yeah.
let's keep it clean, Philip. Okay.
Yeah.
So you got Alabama traveling to Auburn. Alabama, you got to
Yeah. I
pick them.
mean, Bama's going to kill Auburn here. I mean, I mean, yeah. I mean, in a dream world, I mean, Georgia would love to see Auburn pull a stunt here and take Bama
Hey.
out, but
Weird things have happened. So
I mean, weird things have happened.
now, if
I
Alabama
just
loses
don't-
another game,
Weird things have happened. I just don't think this weird thing's going to happen.
yeah, and if Alabama loses another game, they're gone from the playoffs.
Yeah, they are.
And that means if Georgia beats Alabama in the SEC championship game, you're gone.
Yep, that's right. And
So-
and it's really a lot ride. I think a lot rides on this game for pride purposes for Bama and how they enter the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's necessarily I think the game means a lot for Bama when they play Auburn.
Well, I have lived in Alabama, and when this game is played, I mean the whole state just zoom, right there
Yeah.
on it, and so
That's right.
it's a spectacle. Vanderbilt will be playing Tennessee. Now, believe it or not, Vanderbilt in Tennessee, that's a big rivalry. Obviously Vanderbilt in Nashville, Tennessee in Knoxville. Do you think
Right.
Georgia is going to beat Alabama? I suppose that's what Philip. Yes, I do.
Yeah, I mean this season I do.
I do.
I do, Philip. This season I do believe that is going to be the case. I mean, I really
Yes,
do.
I do. I think they will. Let's see. Texas A&M playing LSU this coming Saturday. That's a 7:00 game
Wow.
on there.
Yeah, that'd be a good
ESPN.
game.
Now, that's going to be a good game because that is a big rivalry game. Big rivalry game.
Yeah, it is.
Texas A&M and LSU in proximity to one another geographically, but that's always been a big rivalry game between those two schools. So
Mhm.
that'll be interesting.
It will be.
Clemson now in the top 25, by the way. Clemson ranked number 23 in the country. Aha! DJ Uangalele. We thought we were going to have to struggle with that name all year, but we haven't.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've said it in a long time. Clemson taking on South Carolina. That's a 7:30 game on the SEC network. Interesting. Interesting game. South Carolina. Boy, I tell you, Shane Beamer has done a great job at South Carolina with a limited lineup. The game they played against Auburn last week was a masterful game. Shane Beamer said he only ran 2 plays in the second half, and he kept running them over and over again. And Brian Harsin from Auburn took issue with that. He said, "No, I don't think so. But anyway. So what do you think about that? Clemson and South Carolina, you got to give the edge to Clemson, but hey, those guys in South Carolina are believing. Shane's got them believing. So what do you think about that game? That'll be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it really will be. It's, I mean, and Clemson is, they've been shown to be vulnerable for a season. I mean, and at the end of the day, you're not going to get rid of Ungalele because he signed the contract with Dr. Pepper for the college football playoffs. So I would imagine even when the college football playoffs rolls around, you'll see him in some commercials. So
What was the Dr. Pepper guy? What was the Dr. Pepper guy? What was his name before we?
Larry Culpepper.
Yes, we want Larry back. This
Yeah,
Fansville thing. What is that? I just, there's
yeah.
some of them are okay, but the Portal commercial, the Dr.
that was
Pepper
pretty
Portal
good.
commercial. Now, that was a pretty good commercial. But I want Larry back. I love Larry.
That's right.
So Clemson, South Carolina. I'm going to go with South Carolina. Go Gamecocks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna pick South Carolina too. I mean, they've a lot of pride right on this game for them, and
they're
like
tired of
said,
losing to Clemson.
Yeah,
South
yeah, they
Carolina
really are.
is tired of it. I don't remember the last time they beat Clemson. Then you got Kentucky at Louisville. On Saturday on ESPN at 7:30. That's ESPN2. Kentucky playing Louisville. Now, our good friend Chris Burgett up in Louisville. He lives in Louisville. One of our good guys, one of our good buddies, one of our compadres and helpers and equal partners. He lives in Louisville, so he might have a better idea about this game. Kentucky and Louisville. Louisville's not having the great season. Kentucky's in line to have a pretty good bowl bid. So I'm going to pick Kentucky in this game, and Kentucky. What do you think, Kentucky or Louisville?
Yeah, I'm picking Kentucky here. I mean, I still like Kentucky overall. I mean, as a team unit, I mean, I know they stumbled here and there some this season, but I think against Louisville, I think they come out on top this weekend. I really do.
All right, Philip is determined. He's determined. He's determined to look past the Georgia Tech game. So we'll look quickly. We'll look past the Georgia Tech game. The score going to be now. Last week, Alabama beat Arkansas 42-35, and Arkansas came to play. They played excellent. Alabama, Bryce Young had he threw for over 500 yards or something.
Yeah, I mean,
ridiculous.
He had a good game.
So the defense for Alabama is suspect. The offense is there. Georgia's defense, I think Georgia will beat Alabama by 2 touchdowns. I'm going 2 touchdowns. 24, whatever, that is. 24-10. That's what I think, Georgia. That's a little optimistic, isn't it? 24-10. That's my.
I'm gonna go 34-17 Georgia on this game.
Okay.
And I think Georgia's defense is the reason why, that Bama's held under 20 points. But I'm gonna pick, just off the top of my head, I don't know why, but that rings in my head 34-17. So Dogs win 34-17. We'll see how that prediction holds up. What do you think, Philip?
What do you think?
How about your prediction?
Give us a prediction, Philip. By the way, when I grow up, I want to be a college football coach. James Franklin, head coach at Penn State, has signed a 10-year contract. He'll earn $7.5 million annually and a retention bonus plus $1 million annual loan for life insurance. If he leaves for another job, he'll get there's a $12 million buyout. If he gets fired, he'll get. Well, they didn't reveal that. So when I grow up, I want to be a college football coach.
Yeah, the old
James Franklin. Franklin. I mean, okay.
The old commercial that said, I don't want to grow up. I just want to be a Toys R Us kid. That's like let's change that song. I want to grow up. I want to be a college football coach in the SEC. That's what I want.
Yeah. I mean, my word.
Like,
go
Dogs.
I've never been really, impressed with James Franklin or Dan Mullen. Nothing against the guys, and they're probably fine gentlemen. But as far as football coaches, never really been over the top impressed with them. Listen, it's about time for us to go. Listen, we want to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Yeah, thank you for joining us tonight. We love you guys. Today's Sports Report on Facebook and Instagram. And Matthew, we can't give details. We can give no details. But I'm telling you, there's something big coming down the track. that involves today's sports report and UGA
Yeah.
football news. I mean, there's something. If you guys are praying people, and I know we have praying people, please pray for us.
Yeah.
There is something just absolutely a monstrosity coming down the track, an opportunity for us. We're so excited about it, and we can't say a thing about it because of several different reasons, but I'm pretty excited. How
Yeah,
about you,
very
Matthew?
excited about it. I'm very excited about it. We will be able to say something about it maybe in the near future.
Yeah.
We would like to add, we do appreciate everybody's love and support. Everybody that came on out here tonight and just decided to talk, listen to talk some dogs, I appreciate you coming on. I mean, we couldn't do this without you.
Yeah.
And so don't ever think for a minute that you're not appreciated. I mean, we couldn't, we appreciate all of you. We all bleed red and black if you're Georgia fans. So, really appreciate all your, love, support, following. Look forward to seeing you again soon. Look, got to cheer the dogs again on,
Yep. We're going to
this
be there
weekend.
Saturday.
Yep.
But Matthew and I will be there Saturday. If you're
Yeah.
watching on
Cheer 'em-
television,
cheer
look
'em
for the
on.
two guys in the red shirts.
Yeah. Two
There you
guys.
go.
red shirt.
By the way, thank you for not making a comment about my messy office. I'm one of those guys that I come in, throw it here, but it's organized as far as I'm concerned. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for joining us. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving with your family. God is so good to all of us. Take a moment and thank God for
Yeah.
His grace to us. Thank God for America. Thank God for our military who keeps us safe. Thank God for those who stand on the front lines to protect us. Just thank God for His goodness and grace. Right, Matthew?
That's right. And don't forget about those people. There's a lot of people that are, that are serving to protect us, that won't be at home for Thanksgiving. This Thanksgiving, don't forget to say a prayer for them as well. Just make sure you send one up for them too, and just ask,
Right.
that God protect them and that He would bless them.
All right, Matthew, final words.
Yep. As always, final words are always go dogs.
UGA Football News would like to thank Southeast Mortgage, the official home loan lender of the Georgia Bulldogs, for sponsoring our program today. When the time comes to finance or refinance your home, make the smart choice and get your home loan from Southeast Mortgage. Your friends at Southeast Mortgage are ready to help you. Visit southeastmortgage.com/UGA today for more information. This and previous editions of today's sports report can be found at UGA Football News on Facebook and Instagram, on many leading podcast apps, and at todaysportsreport.com. Be sure to join us for our next program as we keep you up to date with University of Georgia football and more. Until then, be safe and go Dogs.